In the American folklore of Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, and Connecticut, melon heads are beings generally described as small humanoids with bulbous heads who occasionally emerge from hiding places to attack people. Different variations of the legend attribute different origins to the entities. Dr. Crow experimenting on children is the most prevalent. Number 5. Mutilated Animals. I live in Eastlake, Ohio, not far from Kirtland. I've heard many stories and have seen many things in the woods of Kirtland. I've seen the burnt shack of Dr. Crow and saw the chain that the Melon Heads hung his dead corpse from. I can say as one person that the Melon Heads are in fact real. Close by Kirtland there is a small castle for picnics and barbecues and miles of hiking trails. When you walk down these trails you can see some mutilated animals in a deep part of the woods. I've been hiking back in the woods for as long as I can remember. Not one time while strolling have I not seen some small dead animals and mutilated corpses and bones. Number 4. Bad Moon Rising. The story as I have heard it is that Dr. Crow was a doctor who practiced medicine out of his house in the early to mid 1800s. He had either been given these kids with mental problems or he had kidnapped some kids. He then ran experiments on them, injecting their brains with water. This caused the kids to become even more nuts and their heads to swell up like melons. Anyway, he kept them locked away in cages in a green barn next to his house. Now at this point the story gets a little fuzzy. Either the barn burnt down in an accident and a few of the melon heads escaped, or the barn is still there. I have yet to visit the old Crow house, so I don't know if the barn is still standing or not. I am more inclined to believe it burned down. Anyway, these melon heads still roam the area out near Wisner Road. Supposedly they come out only at night, and if it is a full moon they are extremely vicious and will attack any humans they see. However, they have a hard time seeing if you wear dark clothes, blacks, reds, darks, greens, blues. You will be safe. But if you have on any bright colors or white, you are a prime target. Usually they just attack deer and other forest animals for their food, but on those rare full moon occasions they will attack and rip a human limb from limb if they find one. This is the story I have heard from numerous sources. I have gathered many stories from people who have been out there and from people who know the myth. Number 3. Blurry. I know lots about the Melon Heads myth. I know that Dr. Crow's story is sorta true, but that there are some facts missing. First of all, Dr. Crow did exist, but he lived in the 1940s and was a dentist. There could have been another Dr. Crow though. Second, full moons have nothing to do with the nasty behavior. I know this from experiences with them, and from experiences that the others have had. My first experiences with what I think were Melon Heads was on the east branch of the Chagrin River. My brother and I were driving along Mitchell's Mills and I saw a quick flash out of the corner of my eye. I looked right and I saw something by a tree. It was very blurry though. I was so scared and screamed and my brother looked out of his window. "What the hell was that?" he said. I guess he saw it too because he turned back around the spring and we headed back. Number 2. Melon Head Sighting. My name is Tony and I recently had an experience with the Melon Heads. It was on October 5th, 2001. My stepfather, mom, stepbrother, and me were driving down Chillicothe Road in Chardon. We had been driving up and down roads in the same area for almost an hour with no luck. We were just about to go home when we came up on this stretch of road that had fields on both sides and an irrigation ditch running parallel with each side of the road. Just then I look out my window and I saw him, a melon head. He, or it, was running along next to the ditch. Since the ditch was too wide to jump over, it was coming close like it was about to jump, then pulling away. At the time, we were going about 45 to 50 miles per hour. The melon head was actually keeping up with us. It didn't look anything like I've heard in the stories. He looked about the same height as me, 5'7". He was wearing brown pants which were very ripped up and where the seams would be. It was held together by what looked like a corn tusk. It wore a white shirt with brown and red stains all over it. Its head was a very light brown tint. It had 2 holes in the side of its heads which I think were ears. Its head was swelled up and its eyes were very big looking. Just as we turned a curve, it jumped into the woods. That is my story of the Melon Heads. Number 1. Are Melon Heads real? After the murder of the sadistic mad scientist by the name of Dr. Crow, the Melon Heads decided to inhabit the forests of Crybaby Bridge. To survive, the Melon Heads feast on any animals that they hunted down. Because of their paranoia of society, the Melon Heads kill and cannibalize anyone that sees them. To keep the Melon Heads cult ongoing, they have kept impregnating each other, which soon led to inbreeding, making the offspring even more retarded. I am Cryptid Creep. Thanks for watching.